Hey, what's up everybody? So we're going to be taking a look at STR Super Saiyan 2 Trunks at 55%. Now, this dude's Dokkan Awakening is just chef's kiss, very, very good. And I know that a lot of people were disappointed or worried that this Super Saiyan 2 Trunks was never going to get his Dokkan Awakening when it didn't come during the AGL Dokkan Fest Trunks celebration. But it's better late than never, and it was definitely worth the wait because this dude is really solid. So let's take a look at this guy without dupes. So taking a look at his hidden potential system, I do have him at 55%, I am not cheating whatsoever. And as for how you should build him in the hidden potential system, well, he does raise attack and defense for 3 turns, and the way that that works is that it's actually a 50% raise of attack and defense, not just a 30% raise. So you're raising your attack and defense by 50% for 3 turns. So honestly, a split between additional and crit seems the best to me. I never suggest going full additional or full crit. I like a mix of both, so you can get the best of both worlds. I tend to do a little more crit, so in this instance I would go 12 additional attack and 14 crit, just because additional attack generally isn't as good because you do have that 50% chance of it being a normal attack and not a super. But having the crit there will always benefit you because you'll always do more damage even on an additional normal. But if you like more additional attack, you could go 15 additional attack and 11 crit or something like that. And it would be all well and good. Bleh, I just stuttered there for a second. And you can always rectify it. You could always give him more additional or crit via equipment. I do not have any, as always, with 55% showcases. And he is at full link level 1. One notable thing is that he is lacking Fierce Battle, but of course that was to be expected. But his link set is pretty good, besides that one thing. So taking a look, we are on a crossover team, as always, in the Infinite Dragon Ball History event. And we do have quite a bit of support on rotation already. We have 40% from the Xeno Vegeta, and we have 15% from the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. So taking a look, his turn 1 defense, 72k, that is before his super attack, so we're going to want to protect him until he can super attack himself. He is a little vulnerable here, so we're going to keep him in slot 2. What links does he have? Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Shattering the Limit, and Prepared for Battle. So he's sharing 4 with Xeno Vegeta. One of the best linking partners for him is this Xeno Vegeta. So let's put Xeno Vegeta up front, and then we're going to let the STR Trunks super attack once, and then we can check out his defense afterwards. His defense being 72k, well, let's just round it up to 73k. That's actually quite bad considering the amount of support we do have on rotation. We have like 55% support on rotation for him, but he also does support himself, I guess. But he should be okay after 1 super attack. Let's just say 2.1 million attack stat. That's very, very good, considering the fact that he isn't, like, stacked yet. Like, now we'll actually get to see his true, like, numbers now. And if he does get an additional attack, which he can't on mine because he doesn't have any built-in additional attacks, and I don't have any dupes in him currently. But if you can get him the double super, that would be very good for both his attack and his defense. But 2.1 million, I know I said it's not as good on other units, but that's actually kind of decent considering he's 55% and he's doing that. That's quite decent. And he is supporting. He does have a split support passive, sort of akin to Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. He gives, I believe, all types Ki +1 and 25% attack and defense, and then an additional Ki +1 and 15% attack and defense for crossover category allies. So in total, he would be giving Ki +2 and 40% support to crossover allies. So let's take a look at his defense now. It's at 99k. Yeah, I mean, that's still not good. We didn't break 100k. We did lose a little bit of support on rotation. If we had, you know, like another unit supporting on the rotation, we'd be over 100k defense, and that's not even that good. But it's decent. Again, 55%, it's decent. He does also get, I believe, I have to recall because he does have a longer passive than most. He has a attack plus 30%, and then defense and crit chance plus 15% per crossover category ally on the team, himself excluded. So he would have up to attack plus 60% and defense and crit chance plus 30% if you have 2 other crossover category allies on rotation. So he does have that fully active here, and that's why he's going to work very well on crossover category teams. It's his optimal team to be on crossover, and it has to be crossover, not just Dragon Ball Heroes, because he's not on the Dragon Ball Heroes category. He is on crossover, however, so you can run a Dragon Ball Heroes team on crossover, you know, but yeah, you can't just run it with like dual Super Saiyan God Trunks leaders. It does have to be like Vegito or Xenopan leading your team for him to get the leader skill. So that is one thing. I mean, it's not really a big deal. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, honestly, I mean, now looking at the magnitude of Heroes units this year, he's really not that good. But he's still workable, you know, if you want to use him as your leader. His leader skill is definitely very good. Okay, so now we're at 100 and let's say 114k defense. That is with the support from Poutine here, who I absolutely adore. She's an amazing free-to-play unit. But let me just check his passive here so I'm 100% correct in what I'm saying. So he gets an unconditional 150% to attack and defense, and then when he's performing a super attack. So he does need to perform a super attack. So slot 2 is definitely where you want to have this guy, because in slot 1, if he gets hit before he supers, he just loses out on 150% defense. But he does get an additional 30% attack and defense and chance of performing a critical hit plus 15% per crossover category ally, himself excluded. And then there you go. Attacking in the same turn, all allies keep +1 and 25% attack and defense. And then, yeah, so I was right on his passive. I was right on everything. I'm proud. I mean, I have a pretty bad memory, but I memorized his passive quite well. How many links does he share with Robelu? Just Shattering the Limit? We already have Shattering the Limit. So we're actually, like, I choose this Infinite Dragon Ball History stage specifically most of the time because it does have this phase where this dude nullifies, I don't remember this Shenron's name, but he nullifies Ki Blast super attacks. But we get a 2.41 million attack stat there at 55%. That's actually quite good. For just a banner unit that everyone should have, and just being a Dokkan Awakening, like, that's very good. Him supporting with 40% support is very good. And he does have a 30% chance to crit. Let's not forget that. That is also very good. So overall, I mean, very solid showing from him. And it's not like our team right now is dripping with support. Like, we're not completely juiced. So I'm going to head over to a couple of different teams. We're going to get one more attack stat here on the crossover team. And then we're going to swap over to another team and just see how he performs. I like to get a mix of different teams and a mix of, you know, some support, no support, a lot of support, just so you can kind of get the full picture of how he performs in all of those scenarios. But are we gonna, I'm curious right here, this is just irrelevant, but is this gonna actually count? Wow, that worked? That's not a Ki I'm like so weirded out because isn't that a Ki Blast Super? How is he not nullifying that? That's confusing. He nullified that, or he didn't nullify that. But here we go. Let's get one more attack stat in here. He's going to nullify Vegeta's attack stat, right? I mean, it doesn't matter where we keep him. Let's just get it. He's going to nullify Trunks' super attack, but we're going to look at the bottom left corner under his portrait. and you should be able to see his attack stat. I'll also say what it is, because it's gonna like quickly cut out like right now, right? 2.32 million attack stat, so not bad, with like once again like hovering like around that 100k defense mark, so pretty good stuff. Let's move over to another team and see how he performs there. Okay, so now we are on a Super Saiyan 2 team. He's not going to look anywhere near as good on this team currently because he is the only crossover category ally on the team, and there isn't really much support on this team. I did bring this Super Saiyan 2 EZA Gohan. He's really the only support that we're gonna have here, but his turn 1 defense now is 44k, which is pretty bad. I mean, it should improve to around 70k with a super attack, but that is actually quite bad. So I just want to take a look at his link skills really quick once again. He does have Golden Warrior, which is a key link. He has a whole bunch of key links, so he should always super, and considering he does give himself +2 key from his support passive as well, there is that. But Golden Warrior, Prepared for Battle, and Shattering the Limit are all key links. Then he has Saiyan Lineage, which is a pretty common link. I mean, most of his links are common. He also has Saiyan Lineage, which is a key link. I forgot that this is a key link. I thought it was an attack and defense link plus 5%. But, so he has 4 key links. I mean, this guy is kind of like a key battery when you think about it for his team. Like, everybody should be getting their key links active around this guy, right? So he really is like the definition of a key battery. I'm going to keep him in slot 1 here and keep this Vegeta along with him because he's actually helping out LR Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta quite well. But finishing off his links, he does have Super Saiyan, of course, as an attack link, Royal Lineage, which is a Vegeta flavored link, Trunks flavored link, another key link. I am wrong about that. Wow, I thought he might actually get attack and defense when this is leveled. I keep forgetting I'm looking at the link level 1. And then you have Saiyan Warrior Race, which I do know is an attack link. So, he has so many key links. That's pretty much going to be one of the biggest things about this guy, is he's just a key battery for every other unit on your team, which is really big for Super Saiyan 2. Really could use that. He's at 1.18 million attack stat, though. That is like bad. Even for a support unit nowadays, that's pretty bad. I mean, you look at Xeno Super Saiyan Goku, Xeno Super Saiyan Vegeta, Xeno Pan, just out of these units with the hero celebration, they're hitting harder than him. And I mean, Xeno Goku and Xeno Vegeta, when they're at 55%, they're hitting what? Like 1.4, 1.5 million, something like that. And this guy's not even hitting like 1.2 million with a... I mean, that's not good. But again, he is missing, what is it, 30% defense from his passive, 30% crit chance, and 60% attack. All are missing in his passive because he does not have a crossover category ally or 2 crossover category allies on his team. So that is the disappointing part, but it is to be expected. You have to remember he is like stock as can be. Like, we're talking just default character. Like, he's at 55%, full link level 1, no equipment. So he definitely has a lot of room to improve. I'm pretty sure if we were at 2 dupes or more, he would be at around 70k defense turn 1, maybe 100k at Rainbow. I really don't know, but yeah, it's quite rough. But what we have here now is a better looking situation for Trunks. We have 35% support from this Gohan, and we also did super attack, so he's at 83k now. Excuse me. This is one of the situations where you would really benefit from having additional attack on this guy, because if he can get an additional super, he'll raise his attack and defense by an additional 50%, and that will help him a lot with his attack numbers and his defense So we are missing, yeah, 60% attack and 30% defense and crit chance. That is quite painful, but you have to remember, he's still doing stuff. He's still supporting, which is a big deal. So we share 4 links, and we share 4 links, so we have 5 links altogether. I mean, it's just key links again, right? So let's get an attack stat here. I mean, as I said, like, he does support, and he has a lot of key links, so anyone he's linked up with will get key for the most part. Unless they're like a Super Saiyan 3 who only gets over in a flash. 1.63 million, that's still really bad, but now he's more relegated to that support type of role. Like, you float him now, he's not really good enough to stay on rotation even in slot 2. It would have been nice to be able to keep him in slot 2 because, as I keep saying, he is like a key battery for the rest of your teammates. So if you do manage to keep him on rotation in slot 2, he could help link up both of your teammates so everyone can super attack. I mean, he still is giving key +2 from his support passive, but it's really just an ugly situation for this Trunks. He is going to shine the best on a team that has crossover category allies. My brain just froze there for a second. He truly is built for that team, and on that team, he's absolutely amazing. Like, there's no doubt about it. On crossover, he's amazing. He's incredibly good, even at 55%, which, you know, this is the whole point of these 55% showcases, is to show them at their, like lowest potential, and just knowing that they have so much room to grow. So, we're gonna get one more attack stat with him, just to see how it goes, but again, we kind of know it's the same song and dance at this point. It's gonna be what, like 1.6 million? Which is really not acceptable, but what can you do? Yeah, so we're gonna head over to one more team after this, and see how well he performs there. 1.63 million, so pretty mediocre, but hopefully the next team can show us a little bit better. Alrighty, so now we are on a Hybrid Saiyans category team, and it's actually dripping in support for the most part. You have like 3 support units who are very good support units, on top of Trunks, who's a support unit as well. This is a different change of pace. Like, in the first team, we saw him on crossover, you know, pretty much in his optimal zone with some support. Then we saw him on Super Saiyan 2 without any heroes units or without any crossover units in general, and with like no support. But now we're on the Hybrid Saiyans team, which I did not bring any crossover units, but there are a lot of crossover units that are also on Hybrid Saiyans. Like, you could bring, like, let's take a look here. You could bring like God Trunks and the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Gohanks, those types of units. So let's just take a look here. So like, yeah, we could bring the, actually no, I click on Hybrid Saiyans, but still, they're on it, trust me. Yeah, so Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, Super Saiyan 3 Gohanks, the God Trunks as well. Like, those guys are on the crossover category. And even like if you bring God Trunks, I mean, God Trunks also benefits from having like heroes and or heroes units, not crossover, but like you could bring God Trunks and even he would benefit because of these two. So Hybrid Saiyans definitely has a lot of potential for this unit as well. And he does support Hybrid Saiyans, so he's just another support for our fantastic category. So let's take a look. Turn 1 defense, it's way better now. Well, not way better, but it is better now. We're at like 57k. Let's just round that up. And that is with 40% support on rotation. His linking partner is pretty good here. This Trunks gives 40% support, as well as Super Saiyan, which is one of his only attack links that this Super Saiyan 2 Trunks has. And he's also giving Royal Lineage and Golden Warrior. Linked up with the Gohan, he only has Saiyan Lineage. But one of his best linking partners that I should mention, which is the Future Trunks, the Tech Future Trunks, when he's transformed into Super Saiyan, they share 5 links. I believe they share 5 links even untransformed, which is pretty good. 1.45 million attack stat, so that's not too bad. It's bad, but it's way better than it was turn 1 on that other team, the Super Saiyan 2 team. That turn 1 attack we had was like 1.18 million. So it's an improvement, and we can get better attack stats with more support on rotation. It does hurt that he's lacking attack links, so he has no real way of making up the lost attack if you don't have any other crossover category allies on the team. The only way you can really make up that lost attack is from Super Saiyan as a link. So we are pretty much at... That was almost his peak on this team, but it's not bad. And when you consider the fact that he is a 40% support, which 25% attack and defense and 1 key is universal, as in for all allies, he could be ran on all of his teams and he would still be like at the bare minimum for like a support unit. Like key +1 and 25% is like bare minimum, but it's still acceptable, at least nowadays. So yeah, I mean, obviously this dude's gonna be best on crossover. I think I've already said that, but the point is made. He is going to be best on crossover, and if you're running him on other teams that aren't crossover, you do have a few of them, like Hybrid Saiyans, like the, what other team did I say? Hybrid Saiyans, Vegeta's family does have some crossover category allies, but yeah, you do have some categories where you do have other crossover units available. So as you can see here, we are sharing 5 links with this Trunks, or we should be sharing 5 links, or am I wrong? He should be sharing 5 links. I may just be wrong here, but this Trunks is usually hurting for key when I'm running him on Hybrid Saiyans, but here we have all of his key links active. So that's actually kind of interesting. I'm gonna float him though, only because he's not really like that relevant right now. We do have this Trunks who is giving us Super Saiyan as well, and we don't really need key, so we're gonna keep the support Trunks on rotation, float off the transforming one, and we're gonna see his attack stat now after the 50% raise of attack and defense from last turns at super attack. So we should get like a 1.7 million attack stat, 1.6, maybe 1.8. I think it's gotta be like 1.7, 1.8 million here, right? Hopefully 1.6. Ooh, so I was right on that low ball. I'm pretty bad at math. But we can get that to like 1.8 million with the another 40% support, like the GT, Goten, and Trunks. But overall, I think we've made the point here. I mean, this guy is really good, but he's similar. Like, I don't want to say similar because he's still really good. Like, that God Trunks is really limited to just being on heroes. But this guy, at least at 55%, really wants to be on crossover, like a full crossover team, because we saw he was like almost at 3 million attack stats on crossover. Meanwhile, we're struggling to break 1.5 million on any other team, even with support. So that is painful, but yeah, I mean, he's not bad. I will give him that. He's not bad because he is giving a lot of support, and he's just decent, right? I mean, with dupes, it'd be a lot better, but at 55%, he's failing to impress on any other team but crossover. So let's get this final attack stat in here. He's finally at 100k defense. That's after super attacking, and that's with 80% support on rotation. But at least we're at 100k defense now, right? So let's put him in slot 1. And we can see, let me see here. Is this attack stat better? 172. Actually, it is better. Damn, that kind of stinks. I mean, what link are we also running? Saiyan Warrior Race, right? That's 5% attack. Oh, I want to squeeze that little bit of extra attack. I think we would finish off this Boo here, though, if we did. That's the problem. He's just the key battery. Maybe in some world, Goten and Trunks doesn't finish off this guy, but if he does, I'll just, I'll go for one more turn here. But come on, don't additional attack and don't finish him off. Don't finish him off. Now you additional super. Now you did it. You did it. You had to do it. It's okay. That's okay. We'll just float this boy. I should have had him. I just really wanted to squeeze out that extra, like, 5% attack. But he should have been at, like, 1.7 million. No. He has to have been... I'm trying to speculate right now. 1.8 million? He was at 1.6 the turn before we saw him. So I'd say like a 1.8 million attack stat was easily what he was going to hit there. That's annoying though. That's annoying. There go showcases for you. That's exactly what happens every single time you try to do a showcase. Okay, as long as we're not going to die in this rotation, because I just realized our HP is quite low, and we do have some vulnerable units here. A la this boy right here, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He is super attacking first. Come on, get us to this rotation here. Actually, there's no extra support on this rotation, is there? Oh, this is with Ultimate Gohan. Let's just get this last attack stat in here. I think you guys get the gist of it, right? I mean, we're beating a dead horse. It's really bad that we're not on crossover. It's actually quite bad. I'm going to say, at 55%, he looks good on crossover. He's actually incredibly impressive on crossover. Especially because he does get 30% crit chance on top of more attack and defense. That was like a 1.4 million attack stat. But when he's not on crossover, even with support, he's struggling to hit 2 million. He barely hits 100k defense. So yeah, at 55%, you're going to want to run him on crossover only, and you will be severely disappointed if you run him on any other team. Maybe I'll do another video of him when I invest the rest of the orbs to get the other 2 dupes active in him. But let's just take a look at his unit info now. So he is a crossover category leader with Ki +3 and 120% to stats. So he's a nice little sub leader. What I really love about this is that he is a unit that almost anyone should have, especially going into the hero celebration. I feel like unless you're a brand new player, everyone should at least have one copy of this boy. He is a banner unit. And even if you don't plan to summon on heroes, everyone got a little slice of the crossover pie. You know, if you Dokkan Awaken this guy, you Dokkan Awaken the Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas, then you start to have a nice little base for a crossover category team. And he also leads all types 70% attack, defense, and HP, so he's very nice in that he's a little flexible leader. Gonna be great for the newer players in the game. As I said, he causes supreme damage, raises attack and defense for 3 turns. That is a 50% raise of attack and defense. His burning attack, super attack, and as you saw, his attack was nullified by, I don't remember the Shenron's name, but that one stage in Infinite Dragon Ball history. So it may be relevant that it's a key-based super attack, but it really shouldn't be. I mean, it might be relevant now considering we have the Tech Android 17 and 18 from the future, which is a flavorful reference now considering we're talking about Trunks, but they also do have a feature where they nullify key blast attacks. So, why are we talking about that? It's like irrelevant most of the time. His passive, he has attack and defense plus 150% unconditionally when performing a super attack though. So I'm actually wrong. He has attack and defense plus 150% when performing a super attack. Big mistake, it's not unconditional, it is when performing a super attack. So you do want him in slot 2 or 3. Do not put him in slot 1 unless you are not getting attacked before you launch a super attack, because if you get hit before you super, you're going to be taking a lot of damage because he's missing a big chunk, like the majority of his defense. Like all of his defense is just gone because of that. So be careful with that, but still shouldn't be a problem. In slot 2 and 3, it's not a problem. He does get an additional attack plus 30% and defense plus chance of performing a critical hit plus 15% per crossover category ally, himself excluded, attacking in the same turn. So that will be up to 60% attack and 30% defense and crit chance with 2 other crossover category allies on rotation. And then he gives all allies Ki +1, 25% attack and defense, and then an additional Ki +1 and 15% attack and defense for crossover category allies. So he's a great support unit. You know, universal like support, like for all allies giving Ki +1 and 25%. That makes him like passable even if he's not supporting crossover allies. Although on some teams like Hybrid Saiyans, unless you're running other crossover like units on Hybrid Saiyans, for instance the Super Saiyan God Trunks, there is no real reason to run him as a support on that team because he's only giving 25% attack and defense, and there are other units who give 30 baseline, like the Super Saiyan High School Gohan, for instance, gives Ki +2 and 30% attack and defense. So he's a decent support unit everywhere, and he's incredible on crossover. Taking a look at his links, as I said, he's a big Ki battery, Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Saiyan Lineage, Shattering the Limit, Prepared for Battle, and Royal Lineage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ki links on this guy, and you probably will benefit from getting him to link level 10, like quite a lot, because he does have attacking defense locked behind these links getting to link level 10, so it may be a good idea to do that. And let's take a look at his categories now, hopping back over to in-game because I think it's a lot easier to visualize it. But he is available on quite a few categories. Hybrid Saiyans, like most of these categories are pretty good for him. Any of them that have other crossover units on them are going to be fantastic for this guy. Hybrid Saiyans, for instance, like you just saw him without other crossover category units on this Hybrid Saiyans team, but you can run like the Super Saiyan 3s, you know, Go Tanks and Go Hanks. Pan is also here, God Trunks, the Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. So you have options for crossover units to bring on Hybrid Saiyans. Same thing with Time Travelers. If we had a better leader for Time Travelers, this would be a fantastic team to run because most Heroes units are on Time Travelers. I mean, they're the Time Patrol, so no duh. But yeah, if we have like a better leader, like Bojack is not a good leader for that. He's a great leader for his Space Traveling Warriors team, not so much for Time Travelers. But yeah, this will become a good team eventually when we get a new leader. Vegeta's family has a few crossover units like the Xeno Vegeta, or Xeno Super Saiyan Vegeta, God Trunks, the Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Vegeta. So you do have some options there. Bond of Master and Disciple, God Trunks once again. So they share a lot of categories together, as I can see right now. Super Saiyan 2, you do pretty much just have him. I don't think there's another Super Saiyan 2 from crossover, so this is one of those categories that's just rough. That's why I chose to show it off, because that's like a team without a single crossover category option. And then we have Battle of Wits, again, God Trunks. I don't know if you could hear that, by the way, but there is a plane flying over my house. So, might be loud, might be not. And then we have the Demon Goddess Booba, Toa, Booba. We also have this Darkness Toa, Sealess, Super PyCon, Android 21. I'm forgetting that it's not just Heroes units, you know, like if there's AGL Bardock, you know, he's available too. And lastly, of course, his best team, Crossover, with every single unit here he supports, every single unit here he is getting his passive from. So overall, a very solid unit on Crossover, even at 55%, but on other teams he is pretty lackluster, and you will want to avoid running him at 55% on those teams. But if you have him with dupes, then I'd say he probably will be acceptable. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.